Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 2월 10일 월요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. Well, it's the beginning of another great week, and with that, we feel inspired once again to go and face new challenges. And nothing seems to be more important than health, especially with fears of a virus dominating the air these days. 신종 코로나 바이러스 때문에 외출을 자제하는 사람들이 많습니다. 밖으로 나가면 마스크를 착용해야 하고요. 밀폐 공간인 헬스클럽도 피하는 사람이 많은데요. 신종 코로나 발생 이후 평소보다 집에서 머무는 시간이 많을 겁니다. 당뇨병, 심내혈관 질환자, 노약자는 위험성이 더 높기 때문에 특히 조심해야 하는데요. 장시간 집에만 있을 경우 어떻게 건강을 관리해야 할까요? 우선 환기는 필수입니다. 겨울은 아무래도 집 창문을 여는 횟수가 줄어드는데요. 난방까지 가동하면 집안 공기는 더욱 탁해집니다. 질병관리본부에 따르면 신종 코로나 바이러스는 환자의 비말, 그러니까 침방울, 그리고 호흡기, 분비물, 콧물, 가래 등과의 접촉으로 생긴다고 하는데요. 그래서 창문 주위에 낯선 사람이 없다면 환기를 해야 합니다. 또한 몸을 움직여야 하는데요. 집에 있을 때 앉거나 누워만 있으면 건강에 좋지 않다고 합니다. 세계보건기구 WHO에 따르면 청소나 설거지도 훌륭한 신체 활동이라고 하는데요. 방 안을 걷는 것도 좋습니다. With that in mind, here's a quiz question. When a room lacks ventilation or fresh air, we can say the room feels this. 1번 stuffy, 2번 groovy, 3번 fruity. 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 오늘도 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 아침 수프 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 또 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용 가능하고요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시면 되겠습니다. Now let's start the show by greeting the one and only Steve sitting right beside me. Good morning.
Happy Monday morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Steve?
Just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it is, well, there you go. You can hear my voice already this morning. It is cold season on top of people's worries about the coronavirus.
Exactly.
And that's all we're trying to do these days is just stay as healthy as we possibly can be.
Yeah. And so there are a few tips on how to stay healthy when you're indoors, especially if you're at home all day long. It's quite easy to stay slouched on your couch or your bed, but they say move around indoors as well.
Yeah.
And leave the windows open for at least, I don't know how long, but ventilate the house.
Yes, because you have to get some fresh air circulating through your home, too,
Absolutely.
right? Otherwise, the air gets stale inside. But I think, everybody's talking about masks these days, right?
Absolutely. And with that said, every day these past few days, we've been giving you tips at the top of the hour on how to prevent catching this particular virus. And we're going to do that today. 매일 요즘에 신종 코로나 바이러스 예방 및 대응법 안내를 해드리고 있습니다. 오늘은 마스크 사용법에 대한 얘기를 해보도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, let's talk about the right type of mask to wear because there are different options, right?
Yeah.
So as advised by experts, the masks found in the markets include those for health and those for general industrial purposes. So health mask products are those ranked with KF80, KF94, and KF99.
What does KF stand
Yeah,
for?
the KF in there means Korea filter, and the number refers to the particle blocking performance. So the KF80, let's talk about that one.
Yep.
That can protect the respiratory system from particle-borne harmful substances such such as yellow dust and fine dust, and that will block more than 80% of fine particles measuring a certain number on average. Now, the KF94 and the KF99, they can protect the respiratory tract from infectious sources such as yellow dust and fine dust by blocking even smaller particles than the KF80.
But I think what's important to note here is that although these KF masks are great, because they can be a little bit inconvenient when, it comes to breathing, experts also say that regular masks are also effective when it comes to this virus.
Yes, and the benefit of the regular masks, the ones that are made of cotton, is that they can be washed and they can be reused from time to time. And maybe that's an important point these days because the masks are the hot item and everybody is trying to buy them. And it was in the news about, how you can't hoard them. You could get in trouble if you do. So it is important to know that with the cotton ones, you can wash them and you can reuse them.
Absolutely. And there's one other important point we should stress. Even if you are wearing a mask, it could be useless if you're not wearing it properly.
You see images in the media sometimes, and you see people walking around the streets sometimes, I'm sure as well, of people wearing the mask, but it's not covering their nose, right? And I understand why. It can be difficult to breathe.
Yeah, it can be a bit stuffy.
Yeah, with the mask on. But if you are looking to wear it properly, as you should be, you should adjust the wire around your nose to fit the contour of your face. And remember a couple of weeks ago on the show, I said I saw a video online of a doctor talking about, people are wearing these masks improperly. And that was one of the things that he was saying. It has to go above your nose. And not only that, when it does, you have to squeeze it at the top so it really follows the line of your nose to really press it down and keep you safe.
Absolutely. And those are some important key points to remember when it comes to masks. 마스크 사용법에 대해서 말씀을 드렸습니다. 보건용 마스크 는 이제 바이러스를 차단하는데 물론 굉장히 효과적입니다. 하지만 이제 숨 쉬는데 불편할 수가 있어서요. 보건용이든 일반 마스크든 착용을 안 하는 것보다는 일반 마스크라도 착용하는 것이 중요하다. 전문가들은 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 그렇지만 제대로 착용을 하지 않으면 무용지물이 될 수 있습니다. 코에 잘 밀착이 되도록 그 콧대 부분을 잘 조정해서 사용하는 게 좋겠습니다.
And just before we move on, if you don't mind, I'd like to say happy birthday to my father.
Oh, happy birthday.
82 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Hatherley?
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to have a good one today. Probably eat some good food and have a nice dinner with the family. And I mention that because our longtime listeners might remember him from being on that show that one particular day.
Oh, yeah.
So, you can text in happy birthday to Dad and I'll pass that along to him.
All right, it says, Steve, now's the time
What?
for you to sing.
Now, that's Mom's job.
All right. Well, with that said...
Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hope you have a great day.
Yes. All right. Well, let's start the show with the global headlines now. 이제 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
The death toll in China due to novel coronavirus epidemic has hit 811, surpassing the toll of 744 left by SARS.
신종 코로나 바이러스로 인한 중국 내 사망자 수가 811명을 기록하면서 지난 사스 당시 사망자 수 744명을 훌쩍 넘어섰습니다.
A soldier carried out a shooting rampage that left 29 people dead in the Thai city of Nakhon Ratchasima over the weekend.
지난 주말 태국 군부대와 대형 쇼핑몰에서 군인 1명에 의한 총기 난사 사건이 벌어져 29명이 사망했습니다.
Canadian lawyers are seeking class action status in a lawsuit on behalf of victims aboard a Ukrainian plane shot down over Tehran last month, looking for at least $1.1 billion in compensation.
캐나다의 변호인단이 우크라이나 여객기 피격 사건과 관련해 11억 달러 규모의 손해배상 소송을 제기했습니다.
Deforestation in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil has registered a 108% increase on year, according to official data.
지난 1월 아마존 열대우림 파괴 면적이 작년 같은 기간 대비 108% 늘어난 것으로 관측됐습니다. Well, if you'd like to listen to the headlines again, you can do so by visiting our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에서 조금 전에 읽어드린 헤드라인 무료로 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바랍니다. Let's go over the headlines.
The death toll in China due to novel coronavirus epidemic has hit 811, surpassing the toll of 744 left by SARS.
신종 코로나 바이러스로 인한 사망자 수가 중국에서 811명을 기록하면서 지난 사스 당시 사망자 수 744명을 훌쩍 넘어섰습니다.
Yes, the number of confirmed infections rose to 37,198 according to China's National Health Commission. 89 deaths and 2,656 new cases were recorded in a time over the weekend, and a United States citizen passed away from the coronavirus in Wuhan as well. Many doctors believe that deaths and infections from this current epidemic are undercounted, though, in China because testing facilities are under severe strain. So the numbers that we are reporting, what that means is they may not be the actual numbers.
Okay, but let's go over some of those figures nonetheless. First of all, you mentioned that in China, 811 have died. Outside of China, there are only 2 reported cases of deaths. One of them is in Hong Kong. So if you consider China and Hong Kong to be one, then we're looking at one other case that happened outside of China and Hong Kong, which would be in the Philippines.
And the other in the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's right. So those numbers have not risen, but the numbers in China have.
Right. However, if you look at the total number of deaths from SARS in 2003, the final count was 744. This was across more than 20 countries around the world, so it wasn't one single country. But nonetheless, we're looking at a death toll that has far actually surpassed the 744.
You're right. And according to the WHO's Director General, the World Health Organization's Director General, the measures put in place in the Hubei area appear to be, quote unquote, paying off. But the Director General also warned that the outbreaks or outbreaks like these are unpredictable. This is the quote. "We have to understand it with caution because it can show stability for a few days and then they can shoot up. I've said it many times. It's slow now, but it may accelerate." And we mentioned that, I think, last week, a couple of days on the show, is that the numbers are still going up, but they're going up at a slower rate, or at least they were. But this Director General of the WHO is warning that if the numbers slow down, it doesn't mean that they can't increase rapidly again.
그렇군요. 사스 때의 사망자 수보다 신종 코로나 바이러스로 인한 현재 사망자 수가 이제 더 높다라는 사실이고요. 이제 811명은 중국 내 사망자 수고 그 외에 이제 2명의 사망자가 1명 홍콩, 1명 필리핀에서 나왔기 때문에 전 세계적으로는 총 813명의 사망자가 지금까지 있다고 보도가 됐습니다. 다만 일일 신규 확진 환자 수의 경우에는 지금 기존 중국에서 하루에 3,000명씩 확진이 되고 있다라는 소식을 저희가 최근까지 전해드렸는데요. 이게 이제 2,000명대로 줄어들고 있다고 합니다. 그래서 사태 수습에 대한 희망을 보여주고 있다. 이렇게 많은 외신이 보도를 하고 있고요. You mentioned briefly that there was one American death, but this person died not in America, in China. But that is the latest that we've heard.
Yeah, that's right. And few details about that American citizen were immediately available, but the embassy said that the person was 60 years old, and 2 people familiar with the situation said that the person was a woman and did have pre-existing health conditions.
Okay. Well, let's leave that story there and let's go on to our next story.
Headline number 2 this morning, a soldier carried out a shooting rampage that left 29 people dead in the Thai city of Nakhon Ratchasima over the weekend.
지난 주말 태국 군부대와 대형 쇼핑몰에서 군인 한 명에 의한 총기 난사 사건이 벌어져 29명이 사망했습니다.
So the shooter has been identified as, and forgive me if I'm saying his name incorrectly, Jakrapanth Thoma, 32 years old, of the Suram Tampitak Army Camp. And what happened was commandos on Sunday, they killed this soldier after he carried out this shooting rampage. It happened at Terminal 21 shopping mall in Nakhon Ratchasima, where the gunman who had earlier taken hostages was holed up for 17 hours. Commandos from the elite Thai police units killed the gunman, a police spokesman added, after an operation involving hundreds of security personnel.
Now, as to why this took place, apparently there was some sort of a dispute between this particular person and someone, another soldier.
Yeah, a relative of his commanding officer, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha told reporters early on Sunday afternoon that this soldier had conducted the rampage because of, quote, a personal problem. And that personal problem apparently was a dispute over a house sale with a relative of, as I mentioned, his commanding officer. And he had these Facebook posts. It was money related, apparently. He said that you can't take money, to hell with you.
Something about a land commission fee.
Something related to that. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, the updated numbers, according to CNN this morning, 29 killed, 58 injured, and 30 remain hospitalized.
네, 그렇습니다. 계속해서 이 사망자 수와 부상자 수가 업데이트가 되고 있는 상황입니다. 조금 전에 CNN 보도에 따르면은 이제 사망자가 29명이다. 이렇게 보도가 되고 있어요. 태국에서 이런 케이스가 전례가 없다고 합니다. 그런데 이번 사건의 동기는 군부대 내에 있었던 친척 지휘관과 돈 문제를 가지고 크게 다투던 중에 화가 나서 또 개인적으로도 또 뭐 우울증도 있고 여러 가지 좀 분노 조절 문제가 있었다라는 얘기들이 나오고 있는데요. 그로 인한 총기 난사 사건으로 보여지고 있습니다. The CNN report also said that they brought in his mother to try and persuade him. That didn't work.
And I read a quote from his mom that said something along the lines of, this isn't going to help because he's suffering from depression and he has a really bad temper. But you're right, they did bring his mother there in an attempt to get him to surrender. That was unsuccessful.
He was shot.
And killed, that's right.
Killed
around
on the scene.
9 a.m. local time on Sunday.
Right. There were about 8 Koreans at the shopping mall, but all of them, according to the embassy there, are safe.
Oh, that's great news. I didn't realize that.
All right. And let's move on to our next headline.
Headline number 3 this morning. Canadian lawyers are seeking class action status in a lawsuit on behalf of victims aboard a Ukrainian plane shot down over Tehran last month, looking for at least $1.1 billion in compensation.
캐나다의 변호인단이 우크라이나 여객기 피격 사건과 관련해 11억 달러 규모의 손해배상 소송을 제기했습니다.
So this lawsuit names Iran, its supreme leader, the elite revolutionary guards, and others as defendants. And Iran admitted its missiles did down the Ukrainian airliner by mistake on January 8th. We remember it killed all 176 people aboard, including 57 Canadians. And now the lead plaintiff in the case is anonymous, preliminarily identified as John Doe and described as immediate family to a victim identified as Jack Doe. Now, if you're wondering why we're using those names, John Doe and Jack Doe, the filing says that John Doe's identity must be protected because of the risk that, quote, his Iranian family would be put at risk of harm or death by the Iranian regime.
네. 그러니까 이 소송의 원고를 그 익명으로 하기 위해서 존 도, 잭 도 이건 다 보통 이제 익명으로 이름을 짓는 경우입니다. 그렇게 일단 부르고 있다고 하고요. 지난 2017년에는 이란을 상대로 그때도 이제 승소를 한 경험이 이 캐나다 변호인단이 있기 때문에 그때를 토대로 이번에도 가능할지 일단은 캐나다 법원에 이 사건에 대한 그 해석을 요청한 상태라고 합니다. We're still in the preliminary stages. This hasn't happened yet, but they are seeking class action status.
Yes, that's right. And the lawyers who are in charge of the case, they've represented clients in several suits against Iran in the past, as a matter of fact, including a 2017 appeal decision that led to a seizure of some Iranian assets in Canada. That court case was brought about by U.S. victims of bombings and killings and kidnappings that U.S. courts ruled Iran was responsible for. But the plaintiffs could not claim the $1.7 billion in judgments in the United States, and it was not clear whether Iran has any assets remaining in Canada, but the lawyers say that the case will likely go on for years, and any judgment could be renewed and perhaps enforced in the future if not able to do so immediately.
네, 이 피격 사건 다 기억하실 겁니다. 그 여객기가 이륙을 한 지 한 2분여 만에 갑자기 이란 혁명 수비대에 미사일을 발사하면서 격추가 됐고요. 전원이 사망했는데 거기에는 캐나다인만 이제 57명, 57명이 탑승하고 있었다고 합니다. 캐나다 변호인단은 이것은 고의적인 테러 행위다 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있고요. 이란에서는 실수였다라고 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 자, 마지막 헤드라인 볼게요.
Deforestation in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil has registered a 108% increase on year, according to official data.
지난 1월 아마존 열대우림 파괴 면적이 작년 같은 기간 대비 108% 늘어난 것으로 관측됐습니다.
More than 280 square kilometers were cleared. That's an increase of 108%. And it was the largest area cleared in the month of January since the year 2015. That's when such data started being collected. That's according to Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. In comparison, 136 square kilometers were cleared in January of 2019. 183 square kilometers in 2018, and 58 square kilometers in 2017. And this sharp increase goes along the timeline of President Jair Bolsonaro's first year in office, he is a climate change skeptic, and he has eased restrictions on exploiting the Amazon's vast riches. In fact, on Wednesday, Bolsonaro, he unveiled a plan for the Amazon rainforest that would open indigenous lands to mining and farming and hydroelectric power projects. And of course, many NGOs are against this, and some environmentalists and tribal leaders are calling this a nightmare.
Right. If you've seen any of the pictures, you can see bald spots in the Amazon. It's very sad to see.
Yes, when you look at the pictures. I mean, yes, when we hear the numbers, it's kind of hard to relate what that actually means. But have a look at the pictures on the internet, and you'll see exactly how much land is being cleared.
Absolutely. Well, those were our headlines this morning. Now let's remind our listeners again of the quiz.
When a room lacks ventilation of fresh air, we can say the room feels blank. Is it number 1, stuffy, number 2, groovy, or number 3, fruity?
네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판 이용 무료로 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 아침 숲 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연과 함께 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. This is the Bangles, Manic Monday.
I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian
A manic Monday it is. Welcome to the show. If you've just joined us, you're tuned into Morning Special on a Monday.
Every Monday is a manic Monday,
yeah,
isn't it?
So true.
Yeah.
자, 사연 살펴보겠습니다. 이종각 님이요. 스티브 선생님, 아버님 82회 생신 축하드립니다. This person says, happy birthday to your father.
Happy birthday. Thank you very much. He'll appreciate that.
And many others have actually chimed in. 0314님이요. Good morning, 수진쌤, 스티브쌤, 모닝 스페셜 제작진 여러분. 주말 잘 쉬셨나요? 와우, 저도 스티브쌤 아버님 생신 축하드립니다. 오늘도 모스와 힘차게 출발합니다. 하셨어요. Again, yes, happy birthday. 조성복님이요. 스티브쌤 아버님 생신 축하드립니다. 항상 아침에 같이 모닝 스페셜 듣고 있는 올해 초등학교 6학년 딸 이정희도 생일이에요. 축하해 주시면 좋은 선물이 될 거예요. Two birthdays today, but your father's and this daughter's birthday as well.
Only 6학년, so that's about age 13?
I guess so,
They're
yeah.
about 70 years apart, 69 years apart. But both celebrating today. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. And
네.
happy birthday
Yes,
as well.
happy birthday 이정희 양 오늘 생일 축하합니다. 국순혜 님이요. 스티브쌤 부모님이 스튜디오에 오셨을 때 기억나요. I remember the time your parents came to the studio. 부모님이 스티브쌤을 무척 자랑스러워하심이 느껴졌어요. 미스터 헤들리 생신 축하합니다. 계속해서 건강하시고 특별히 행복한 생신 주간 보내시기 바랍니다.
He's doing well. He's a healthy guy.
Yes, fantastic. And a lot of our listeners, as you said, remember that time that they came. And apparently this person says, I could really feel how proud your parents were of you.
Yes, I was trying to
nice.
stop them from, doing what parents do
Yes.
and bragging and saying things, that parents always say. It was very sweet. It was very nice. Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for your messages. That's really delightful. Keep sending those in, as well as the answers and any questions you might have as well. We have 5 아침 soup sets to give out during the first hour. Let's now go to our first News Focus story. 자, 첫 번째 News Focus 살펴보겠습니다. 브라질의 트럼프로 불리는 친미 성향의 자이르 볼소나로 브라질 대통령이 도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령의 탄핵 심판 무죄 판결 기념 연설을 시청하는 자신의 모습을 1시간 넘게 생중계해서 논란이 일었습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has live streamed himself watching a speech by Donald Trump as the latter bashed his political opponents following a victorious impeachment trial. With his strong support for conservative values, repeated clashes with journalists, disparaging remarks about women, climate change skepticism, and strong focus on the economy, Jair Bolsonaro has long been described as Brazil's version of Donald Trump. During the Facebook broadcast, some commenters accused the Brazilian president of kowtowing to his U.S. counterpart. Humberto Costa, a senator from the opposition Workers' Party, tweeted, "It's not enough to be a doormat. One must show oneself to be a doormat. The shame is on Brazil."
네, the Trump of Brazil
That's what they say.
was watching Trump.
Yes.
And here it is. This is, I guess, one photo of the actual footage. It was streamed online, and it was for about 70-something minutes, so over an hour.
Yes. And hence his critics,
Yeah.
Jair Bolsonaro's critics, are saying, Humberto Costa is one of them, saying, it's not enough to be a doormat. You have to show oneself. You have to show everybody that you are
Yeah.
President Trump's doormat.
Let's start off with that one then. What is a doormat?
A doormat is someone, well, first of all, it's a very negative expression. If
Yeah.
someone calls you a doormat, or if you call someone a doormat, it's very negative. And it simply means, well, what do we do with a doormat? We walk on it.
tread on it, yeah,
We walk
yeah.
all over it.
Yeah.
So imagine that you are that doormat. People are walking all over you. It means that people can do whatever they want. You will do whatever they say.
Yeah.
You probably don't say no to them very often. That's what being a doormat is. And that's what Humberto Costa was saying. it's not enough to be a doormat.
Yeah.
You have to show
And
everybody.
that's sarcasm right there,
Of
isn't
course,
it?
it is
Yeah,
sarcasm.
yeah.
That's right. You have to show everybody that you're a doormat too.
맞아요. 이렇게 브라질의 대통령이 본인이 미국 대통령의 연설을 시청하는 모습을 1시간 넘게 생중계한 것에 대해서 반대 측 브라질 내에서 이제 반대 입장의 한 정치인이 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. 동네북 그러니까 여기서 저희 동네북으로 저는 이제 해석을 해봤는데요. 뭔가 발 매트죠. 도어 매트, 현관 발 매트인 것도 모자라서 그거를 그렇게 입증을 해야 되냐 이렇게 비난을 한 것이에요. 그래서 도어 매트는 현관 발 매트인데 그냥 누구나 다 밟고 다니는 그런 뭐라 그래야 될까요? 사람들한테 당하고도 그냥 가만히 있는 사람을 이렇게 부릅니다.
Yeah, I'll give you a sentence example. Sometimes you can feel like a doormat too, right?
yeah.
So if you're maybe in a relationship and you feel like your girlfriend or boyfriend, they're always taking advantage of you. They're always telling you what to do because they know you're going to say yes, right? And therefore, you can say, I feel like a doormat these days. Or if you want to stand up for yourself, you can say, I'm not going to be your doormat. Or I'm not going to be your doormat anymore.
너한테 이렇게 당하고만 있지 않겠어. 내가 너의 발매트가 되지 않겠어. 영어로는 이렇게 표현을 하는 건데요. 브라질 내에서는 물론 굉장히 권위 있는 대통령이지만 비판자들은 트럼프 대통령을 너무 좀 우상시하다시피 너무 이렇게 높게 평가하고 따라하려고 하고 그런다. 도매트냐 이렇게 얘기를 하는 거예요.
Let me give you a further example of when you may feel like this.
Okay.
If at work, if at the office, your boss needs to ask someone to come to work on Saturday, for example,
yeah.
and there are 20 people in your team, but your boss asks you, and your boss asks you every single time. And why does your boss ask you? Because they know you will say yes. If your boyfriend says, oh, hey, can you go pick up my dry cleaning today? Oh, and I need milk and eggs. Can you bring those to my house, please? Because I don't, it's too cold to go outside. What? Excuse me? How could you? Don't treat me like your doormat. Yeah, those are situations where you may feel like that.
네, 어떤 뉘앙스인지 잘 아실 것 같아요. 나를 그냥 이렇게 마구마구 밟지 말아라. 그런 뉘앙스가 들어 있습니다. 그래서 여기서는 doormat 이 표현을 살펴봤고요. Do we want to go over disparaging remarks
We can
briefly?
do very quickly.
Yep.
Some of the reasons that they compare Jair Bolsonaro to President Trump is because of his conservative values and he has trouble with journalists, and also because of his disparaging remarks about women. So disparaging means to belittle something,
Yep.
To reduce the importance of something, I guess. And remarks simply means comments. Basically speaking, or simply speaking, it's when you say bad things about someone or something else. Those are disparaging remarks.
네, 비난하는 말, disparaging remarks가 되겠습니다.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go right to news focus number 2. 자, 그러면 바로 두 번째 news focus로 넘어가 볼게요. 자, 신종 코로나 바이러스 감염증의 여파로 과일의 제왕, 두리안 가격이 급락하고 있습니다. 전 세계 두리안을 싹쓸이하던 중국인들의 소비가 줄었기 때문이라고 하는데요. Let's listen to the story.
Malaysian durian prices have dropped in the past 2 weeks as demand from China eased due to the outbreak of the country's emerging coronavirus. Durian farmer Andy Tan said orders have dropped to almost zero in the past 2 weeks after many cities in China have been closed, and that the logistics industry for durian's transportation has fewer workers, and there are major setbacks in getting the products through customs. Durian tourism has also been affected by the widespread virus. At one location where durian buffets and tours for tourists usually take place, visitor numbers have decreased by 75% since the Chinese New Year.
We talked about this fruit recently, actually, didn't we? And how some people love it.
Yes.
And we're not one of them.
We are not in that group of people who would be at the durian buffet.
Exactly.
yeah.
But still, some people consider this like royal fruits, you know, like a really sort of high quality fruit.
I'm not overly familiar of the culture behind the fruit, if there is any, but from what I could take away from the article, it's kind of like a gathering type food that people eat together, almost like a celebratory dish. I'm not sure if that's true or not. It's just what I could take away from the article.
Yeah.
But that would make sense in terms of why the numbers are way, way down. The orders, according to that durian farmer, have dropped to almost zero. Partly perhaps because it's a food that people would eat and share together. And in
Yeah.
China these days, that's just not happening.
맞아요. 지난주에도 저희가 중국이 경제적인 외딴섬이 됐다 이런 얘기를 잠깐 했었는데 비슷한 맥락에서 뭐 두리안의 주문량도 주문량이지만 이게 그 유통하는 게 쉽지 않겠죠, 지금. 그래서 물류업계 자체가 지금 작동을 하지 않아서 갑자기 이제 두리안의 소비가 많이 줄었다. 그리고 가격도 급락하고 있다고 합니다. It's a major setback.
Yeah, and these are the types of stories, you know, when we hear about the coronavirus and the immediate effects on human beings and then the effects on, you know, global economy,
Yeah.
major airlines not flying to or from certain areas of China. We don't necessarily think durian,
Yeah.
right, when we think about this. But obviously, this has an effect on people, too. People's livelihoods and their incomes, just like durian farmers. And they are suffering major setbacks these days in getting the products through customs. So a setback is something that stops your progress. It's a figurative expression. And I'll give you a couple of examples. We hear this sometimes, a health setback, right? So maybe you're doing quite well with your health, but then I'm not sure what that might be. Maybe you have a problem with your internal organs or, you know, whatever it could be. And for 3 months, you're not healthy. We call that a health setback because you were moving forward,
Right.
you were progressing quite well, but then your health something bad happened, and then it stopped your progression in your life for a period of time.
네, setback는 차질 아니면 방해 요인 어떤 문제점을 말합니다. 여기서는 이렇게 두리안을 갑자기 많이 판매하지 못하는 것 자체가 어떤 두리안 판매의 큰 차질이라고 볼 수 있겠죠?
Another example might be if you have plans to release your new product with your company in, what's the date? February 10th. So let's say March 1st. But as you get closer to March, you realize, oh no, we have to delay this release. Well, why? Well, our company had a setback. Our budget for marketing got cut by 25% suddenly. So that's a setback too.
Right.
It stopped the progress in a figurative sense of what your company was trying to do.
Absolutely. 네, 그래서 두 번째 두리안 판매량이 줄어들고 가격도 줄어들었다는 내용으로 setback라는 표현을 한번 살펴봤습니다. Okay, now let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
When a room lacks ventilation or fresh air, we can say the room feels blank. Is it number 1, stuffy, number 2, groovy, or number 3, fruity?
정답 계속해서 보내주시고요. 총 5분께 추첨을 통해서 아침 soup set 보내드리겠습니다. One of our listeners says, I had a durian-flavored sweet candy, and it was delicious.
I had some durian chips,
Ah,
and they didn't taste anything like durian. So I think there are lots of durian products
Interesting.
out there.
Yeah.
But for me, the fresh fruit itself, or even the thawed version or the thawed out frozen one is, for someone else.
I couldn't, no, I
for
couldn't
someone
either.
else's palate, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to listen to a song now. 자, 노래 한 곡 듣고요. 세 번째 뉴스 포커스 조금 후에 살펴보겠습니다. 토니 바질이 부릅니다. Hey Mickey. 세 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 아프리카 남부 보츠와나가 코끼리 사냥 허가증에 대한 경매를 시작한다고 하는데요. 환경 보호론자들은 우려를 나타냈습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Botswana held its first auctions for the right to hunt elephants since foregoing a ban last year, selling 7 hunting licenses, with each allowing hunters to kill 10 elephants in controlled hunting areas. Officials revoked a 2014 ban in May, saying human-elephant conflict and the negative impact on livelihoods was increasing. The lifting of the ban has been popular with many in rural communities, but conservationists have found fault with the decision. The country has some 130,000 elephants, the largest population in the world.
네, 코끼리 사냥을 할 수가 있게 된 거죠. So you can hunt elephants.
Yeah.
Which is
I'll be honest, it turns my stomach. I hate seeing stories like this. This is what I think, to be honest with you. What gives us the right as human beings to take the life of an animal? If there's increased conflict with the animal, that sounds like, in the context of the story, it sounds like they're blaming the animal for this. So what's the solution? Oh, let's just,
kill the
we'll
animal.
kill them. That doesn't seem right to me. It just makes me feel really upset when we see stories like this.
네,
But
그렇습니다. 보츠와나가 세계에서 야생 코끼리가 가장 많은 나라라고 하는데요. 이제 코끼리가 이렇게 많다 보니까 뭐 피해를 보는 주민들이 있다 이런 얘기가 나오면서 이제 보츠와나에서는 그러면은 허가를 받은 사람들에 한해서 사냥을 하게 하겠다라고 한 것이고 환경 보호론자들은 이게 웬 말이냐 이렇게 반항을 보이고 있죠.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
Yes.
Botswana, they did reverse this decision and they did decide to forego a ban last year. So when you forego something, well, first of all, I think there's a couple of spellings for this. One is F-O-R-E-G-O and one is just F-O-R-G-O. You could say in the second spelling, they forwent the E.
The E, yeah.
Yes, because forgo means to go without, right? And I'll give you an easy example. If you are dieting these days and we have dinner and I ask you, would you like some dessert? And you would say, no, I think I'll forgo dessert. I'm on a diet these days, meaning I will go without dessert.
뭐뭐를 하지 않겠다, 포기하겠다라는 의미의 forgo인데요. 스펠링은 두 가지가 있습니다. F-O-R 하고 E를 넣어도 되고요, 빼도 되고요. 그다음에 G-O 한 단어인데요. forgo, 포기하다.
Hence the joke. If you want to spell it F-O-R-G-O, you can forgo the E. And that's an easy way to remember the meaning of this expression, right?
네, 그러네요.
Yeah. Many conservationists, and myself included, have found fault with this decision.
Yeah.
This is a 5-star fancy expression. When you find fault with something or someone, it means that you are criticizing it or them. So, I gave the example of doormat before, right?
Yeah.
So if you're having an argument with your partner, and you can say, I feel like you're treating me like a doormat these days. I'm not going to be your doormat anymore. You find fault with everything I do. You find fault with everything I do means you criticize everything I do.
네, 비난하다라는 뜻인데요. find fault with라고 해서 뒤에 나온 것을 이제 비난한다라는 뜻입니다. 환경 보호론자들은 이렇게 코끼리 사냥을 허용한 것에 대해서 5년 만에 이렇게 허용이 됐는데요. 이것 자체를 비난을 하고 우려를 나타내고 있다. 이렇게 보시면 되겠습니다. Okay, well, those were our news-focused stories this morning. It's time now to announce the answer to the quiz.
The answer to the quiz this morning is, well, the question was, when a room lacks ventilation or fresh air, we can say the room feels blank. Is it number 1, stuffy, number 2, groovy, or number 3, fruity? And the answer is stuffy.
네, 답답할 때, 공기가 탁하다, 답답하다라고 할 때 stuffy라는 표현을 쓸 수 있습니다. 1번이 정답이고요. 이준석님, 조남섭님, 백정선님, 유지상님, 그리고 3325님 아침 스프 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 축하합니다.
Someone can be stuffy too, right?
Oh, yeah.
A room can be stuffy, or a person's personality can be stuffy too. How would you describe a person who has a stuffy personality? They're very serious. They're very kind of high class, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't have a great sense of humor.
Maybe a little bit old-fashioned.
Oh, that's good. A little old-fashioned as well. Yeah. That person we can describe that person has a stuffy personality.
맞아요. 조금 고리타분한 아니면 답답한 성격을 가졌을 때도 stuffy라는 표현을 쓸 수 있고요. And when you have a cold, you might have a stuffy nose.
Exactly, yeah.
네, 코가 막혔을 때도 코가 꽉 막혔어 할 때 I have a stuffy nose 이런 표현을 쓸 수 있습니다.
Expression of the day?
Yep, what is it?
All right, well, I just mentioned it, and I'll bring it up again. It's a negative expression, but we can use it in a couple of different contexts. So I said when I heard that elephant story, or when I read the elephant story, these types of stories turn my stomach. So if something turns your stomach, it means it makes you feel sick. So you can use this expression about news, right? When you hear certain news that's very upsetting to you, then you can say, oh, that turns my stomach. Or if you smell something very unpleasant, or you eat something that was very unpleasant, then you can say that expression as well at that time. Oh, that smell, that turns my stomach.
Turn one's stomach. 그러면은 속이 뒤틀릴 정도로 뭔가 불편하다 이런 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 스티브 선생님이 굉장히 animal lover이시잖아요. 동물 많이 좋아하십니다. 그래서 코끼리 사냥을 허용한다는 것 자체가 정말 내 속을 뒤틀리게 한다. It turns my stomach. 이런 얘기를 아까 해주셨어요. 오늘의 표현이 되겠습니다.
I know, I always get angry when we do the animal stories, don't we?
I get very, very sad too.
Right?
And I especially love elephants, by the way.
Yeah.
That's very disheartening. Anyhow, that was our expression of the day. Before we wrap up, we have a few messages and a question. 윤석희 님이요. 질문이 있는데요. doormat를 pushover와 동일하게 써도 될까요? Is this the same expression?
Well done. It's exactly the same expression.
동일합니다.
If you are a pushover, then you are also a doormat.
맞아요. pushover는 뭐냐면은요. 이렇게 밀면 밀리고 저렇게 밀어도 밀리고 어떤 사람이 어떻게 밀든지 간에 밀리는 사람.
There's a little bit of the difference in the nuance, though.
Okay.
Right? So if if you ask your boyfriend, or if you ask your parent, right, can you buy me this thing? And they say, oh, okay. Then you can say, oh, you're such a pushover. Now, in that context, it doesn't
it's
have...
not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It means, oh, you always do what I want. But in a loving way, right? So pushover can be used in a loving kind of manner.
But not doormat.
Doormat is always very negative.
알겠습니다.
Yeah.
doormat는 항상 부정적인 의미고 pushover는 때로는 좀 사랑스럽게 쓸 수도 있다. 이런 뉘앙스 차이가 있겠네요.
Do not say to your partner, aw, you're such a doormat. That's not going to go very well in that conversation.
It is not. Unless they are a doormat. 이영수 님이요. 60이 넘은 할머니인데요. 가끔 손주를 봅니다. 손주가 영어를 좋아하다 보니 저에게도 영어를 물어볼 때가 있어요. 그래서 요즘은 인터넷 영상으로 유아 영어 보고 있는데 너무 재밌어요 하셨습니다. 아, 그렇군요. This person is over 60, has a grandchild who asks questions, English questions, every now and then. And so to keep up, she likes watching children's English videos online. And also apparently listening to our show. 모스도 많이 들어주시고요.
That's very sweet.
네, 감사합니다. 저희에게 질문 주시면은 바로 답해 드리도록 하겠습니다. Well, thank you, Steve.
Thank you as always for having me. Have a good Monday.
Have a nice day today.
Bye-bye.
Well, coming up in the second hour of Morning Special, we have the Power English team with Say What and Books with Paul Matthews. 기대가 많이 되는 2부, Shawn Mendes의 Falling All in You 듣고 오겠습니다.
Sunrise with you on my chest. No blinds in the place where I live. Daybreak, open your eyes, 'cause this was only ever meant to be for one night. Still, we're changing our minds here. Be yours, be my dear. So close with you on my lips. Touch noses, feeling your breath. Push your heart and pull away. Yeah, be my summer in a winter day, love. I can't see one thing wrong between the both of us. Be mine, yeah. Anytime, anytime. Ooh, you know I've been alone for quite a while, haven't I? I thought I knew it all. Found love, but I was wrong. More times than enough. But since you came along, I'm thinking, baby, you are bringing out a different kind of me. There's no safety net that's underneath. I'm free, falling all in you. Far from it, who, what, how they appear. Yeah. Trapped up on a tightrope, now we're here. We're free, falling all in you. Fast forward a couple years, yeah. Growing up in the place that we live. Make love, then we fight. Laugh, 'cause it was only meant to be for one night, baby. I guess we can't control what's just not up to us. Be mine, yeah. Anytime, anytime. Ooh, you know I've been alone for quite a while.